This video will run through the dip switch settings for the different controller modes on Impro Controllers. The controller mode dip switches are easy to identify on the cluster control module as there is only one bank. For the distributed controller, you need to remove the grey lid, and then there are 3 banks of dip switches. Use this top set, it is marked mode, to set the controller mode. The mode dip switches are only red as the controllers power up, so you must cycle the power if you change the mode settings. You can cycle the power to the cluster controller module by unplugging and then plugging the power terminal plug. This one here. Cycling power to the distributed controller is done in the same way. This time the power terminal plug is this one here. The correct mode to select is dictated by the location of the controller within the system diagram. Note that while this diagram doesn't show cluster controllers, their mode settings will follow the same rules. You can see that this controller has an Ethernet connection and is controlling other controllers via RS485. It could also be directly controlling up to 2 doors via its reader door and relay ports. For systems running Primo or Access Portal, this controller must be set to system controller mode. The switches should be off, on, and off as illustrated here. Note that these controllers have no other controllers that are controlled through them, so they must be configured as door controllers. The mode bank of switches should be all off as illustrated here. In the case of a small system that doesn't have Primo or Access Portal installed, the built-in Access Portal Lite web application may be sufficient. This controller must be set to Access Portal Lite mode. Only the second switch should be on as illustrated here. The factory default mode is typically only used when the controller's IP address has been set to a static value that falls outside of the system mask, making it impossible to recover any other way. This mode is selected by switching the first switch in the mode banks to on. When you do this, the other switches are ignored. Remember that this reset will only occur on the next controller reboot. Don't forget to return the first switch back to off after the reboot, or the controller will default every time it powers up. That concludes this video.